I wanted to be nice about this show, but I'm so annoyed after just finishing it. It's just, I have so much to say, so here I am. If you are afraid of spoilers, this video is not for you, as I will fully talk about the new Netflix show Cursed, and I will just spoil everything that you could ever imagine to the end, to just, you know. So if you haven't watched it and you want to watch it, just leave this video. I think it's better for everyone. So I started this show probably like last week. I was really excited about it because I'm just a whole fan of fantasy stuff and I loved Merlin, so I was like, this is gonna be great, I'm so hyped, it's probably gonna be as good as The Witcher, and I was disappointed. First, the setting. I think I had a TV show Merlin too much in mind, which maybe wasn't the greatest thing because I don't know how BBC Merlin is super accurate to the original legend, so maybe not the best idea. Nonetheless, I was quite surprised to see this modern retelling and how the story adapted to the legend. I was quite surprised to see that Arthur was just a random cutthroat and that we had all our knights joining the round table and having them all in different background and ages. Also, isn't Gawain one of the knights of the round table? But he technically died in the last episode, so I'm extremely confused, but as the show itself is an adaptation of a novel, which itself is a modern retelling of the Arthurian legend, I completely understand the liberties it took, and it's really interesting to see a new eye on it and just see the story of the different angles. So honestly, I was all up for it. Even though this is a booktube channel, I haven't read the book. I know, shame on me. So this won't be a comparison from the book to the show, so I can't talk about this, but I just want to talk about the show from a viewer's perspective and everything that was wrong with it. Also the good part, obviously, just that there was a lot of flaws, yeah. First, a very modern and interesting retelling. We have Arthur before he becomes someone of significance, Nimue as a future Lady of the Lake, and a very strong female character, as well as people of colors and LGBTQ plus inclusion. So that's some stuff I really enjoyed. I think Netflix got very good at understanding that this is what modern people want. They want more inclusion of people of color, of LGBTQ plus, and this show just does it all, and I think that's something that's really great and that we don't see enough in historical show. Can you please English? In my opinion, the actors were quite good, and I blame the script for the awkwardness of some of the scenes, some of it was just really bad. But I don't think it's just due to bad acting necessarily. I just think the scriptwriter is just, I don't know. What I love about Netflix is that they have the budget to bring great stories to life. For example, they gave us The Witcher, and now this, and they're also going to give us Shadow and Bone. So for a fantasy lover like myself, it's absolutely amazing. Even though the quality doesn't always follow, it's still great to see all these amazing landscape and CGI effects and costumes all come to life. Though I gotta admit, what I didn't really like about this show was the blood effect. Like, I'm not someone who's that grossed out about blood, but I thought it looked very fake when someone was decapitated, or it just looked so fake and looked like it was too much trying to be like Game of Thrones, in my opinion. So that was kind of a bad thing for me. I've gotta say, I saw this scene coming from a mile away. It was just so obvious, and this stupid romantic music playing. That's maybe because I've just become cynical about dating, but I've gotta say, I wasn't always convinced by Arthur and Nimue's relationship. I think the character development just lacked consistency and logic, and the relationship didn't always make sense, and sometimes they had really weird scenes that just came out of nowhere, and dialogues, and it just kept on changing mind on whether, oh, we like each other or we don't, but wasn't brought in a very logical way. And just in general, I think the character development wasn't always the best. For example, I think it's in episode 7 when Gawain and Arthur are at the mill to try and save some of the Fays who are trapped in there by the paladins, and one of the Fey soldiers can't go inside and is basically wounded outside, and then the Weeping Monk threatens Gawain to kill the guy if he doesn't come out. And then Gawain wants to go out, except that literally moments before, he was telling Arthur how he let his own brother die at the hand of the paladins because he knew that if he went down from the tree, he would die too. But then suddenly, he thinks it's good to sacrifice himself for his friend. It wasn't okay to sacrifice himself for his brother, but suddenly it is for his friend. I didn't understand. It just did not make sense to me. That's really what frustrated me with this show, It's them not following the logic of their own characters and just making decisions that doesn't fit them, and the whole plot development just did not get it. So to accompany what I just said, is what kind of annoyed me with this show is how they would change characters' personality depending on what the plot needed, which is something I very much hate, and something that Game of Thrones never did up to season 6, and which was something I really loved, is that you always stay faithful to what is logic and characters, and you don't make really irrational and weird decisions. And then, you know, Game of Thrones had season 7 and 8, and yeah, that's another subject. But yeah, you get my point. Maybe I wasn't as invested in the show as I thought I was, but I felt like the whole thing lacked consistency and logic, and sometimes just scene would come out of the blue and would just feel really odd to me. And this brings me to what annoys me the most about this show, which is the ending. Okay, so we have Nimue. Nimue falls into the water, cascade, lake, whatever. Maybe that's how she becomes the Lady of the Lake. Who knows? Honestly, like, whatever, don't care. But before she falls, we have Merlin, who's like holding her by the hand and trying to like make her not fall. But then on the side we have Morgana, who's just sitting there looking at the scene, doing nothing, which makes no sense, because your friend is about to die. Go and help her, you idiot. I get that Nimue had to fall into the water, but I just don't understand why Morgana was just sitting there. Maybe it's because Iris was there and she was like, oh my gosh, she just connected one-on-one and understand that, you know, Iris killed everyone and her beloved Celia. But it just felt a bit weird to me. Like, even if you have a great shock, you still want to save like one of your really closest friends, don't you? I don't know. Okay, then we have Merlin, who goes all thunder god crazy. Like, let's not talk about the amazing thunder effects on his eyes and everything, but that's just, you know, details. But what kind of was weird for me is how he, at some point, and how I understood it, very clearly, like, thunders over Iris, and Iris falls under, like, thunder, because he's obviously very mad, because of Iris, Nimue died, his own daughter. So in my opinion, he wouldn't have let the nun go without making sure she would die for sure, because, you know, revenge. Except then we have the last scene, which is really what annoyed me the most. When Iris suddenly is among the Red Paladins and the Pope is making her the new, like, avenging angel or whatever. Did I misunderstand something? Was that really what happened? Because first, wasn't she dead because she got like thundered over by Merlin? Second, it was a whole thing that woman could be Red Paladins and she wasn't, like, she was just a girl and everything. Like, how did she even get to meet the Pope when like Father Cotton couldn't? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, even if she, you know, told everyone, oh, I'm the one who killed the Wolf Blood Witch, like, sure, I guess that makes you really good and everything, and that may get you the favors of the Pope, but who saw her? Because there was only Merlin, Morgana, Nimue, and her. The Red Paladins hadn't arrived yet, they arrived later, so how would anyone believe that this little girl killed the Wolf Blood Witch? It just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I misunderstood the ending, but I really don't think I did. Why? So I am frustrated about this ending, and it's not in a good way. It's not like, oh my gosh, I want season 2. I'm just like, no, why don't you make sense? We'll see in season 2. Maybe it will make more sense, and maybe I'm just dumb. Who knows? One thing I did like is how the Weeping Monk turns out to be nice. Also, I was always sure that he was Fae. Like, it just seemed like a very obvious plot point. And it's really sweet how he's saving Squirrel and how he doesn't believe in killing children, and even though his character development may not make the most sense, I kind of, you know, bought it. And I'm kind of happy that, you know, he's nice in the end, and then we learn that he turned out to be Lancelot, and it's really cute. And the way, like, Squirrel is also Percival, even though he's kind of, like, just 10, so whatever. The whole thing about Morgana being the widow, I guess, like, why not? I don't really have any complaints about that, and I guess we'll get more developments on how that's gonna play out in season 2. So I'm honestly quite fine with it, like, sure. Though I have to say, I also felt with her some general inaccuracy about her character. Like, why is she the one who has to go get the sword in that cave or anything? But I guess that was really just for the plot. So yeah, but in general I enjoyed her character, I guess. It was an entertaining show, for sure. If you don't look too close, you know, good actors, good production, it was interesting. But it does have many flaws, and for someone who you know, has been brought up with Game of Thrones for 6 seasons, I'm someone who likes for things to be absolutely perfect and logic. Like, one of the other things that annoyed me in the end was the battle on the beach between the Fays and Cumber's soldiers, and they kind of all like fight and everything, and then the Red Spear arrives. Except we see them arrive on the ship, and then they have to disembark the ship and then go on horses and then go all the way to the beach. By then the Fae would be dead. There was so many Viking soldiers. Okay, this is just me being very like annoying, but that was a problem for me. It wasn't logical. I don't even have the strength to rant about Uther Pendragon, but I do have one thing I want to say. Why does he speak about himself in the plural? Why is it always like, oh, we want to do this? I just wish we had an explanation, because I just don't understand and everyone assumes it's normal, and I just wish I knew why. I went in to watch Cursed with the expectation that it would be as good as The Witcher, and it wasn't. Granted, a lot of the gamer and reader fan of The Witcher were very disappointed by the TV show about how much Ciri took space and everything, and weren't exactly satisfied with how it was all brought to, but as a viewer, I felt like this whole 8 episodes made sense from beginning to end, and there was a logical flow to it, and there wasn't character inaccuracy, and it just made general sense. That's why I really liked it, and that's why I expected Cursed to be the same. Cursed is just very flawed, and from what I read online, people are very much quite disappointed by the show. It comes to show that money can't make a show good. Look at season 8 of Game of Thrones. Beautiful landscapes and cool super effect won't erase a badly constructed plot, and I wish Netflix understood that better. Will I watch season 2? Sure. Honestly, it was entertaining. It's entertaining fantasy and I enjoyed watching it. And I do hope that Netflix will take notes of the critics of season 1 and do better with season 2. I am also most excited to see the ascending of Arthur to the throne and the formation of the Knights of the Round Table. What is going to happen with Nimue? Is Merlin going to die? I'm very curious about all of that. And I low-key am quite happy that we're going to see more of the Weeping Monk, of, well, Lancelot I guess now. Because, well, he's kind of cute. And now that he turns out nice, I'm kind of happy. Even though, no, I do not ship him with Nimue. I know some people do. I mean, I don't see it, but you do you. I guess that's all about my review about Netflix show Cursed. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know my channel is technically about books, but I couldn't resist geeking out about some cool fantasy show, as it's, you know, one of my main interests. So I definitely hope you enjoyed that. It will definitely be something I will do on my channel from now on. Just geek out about some cool fantasy show or movies I've watched. I guess this is my cue to end this, but I hope you enjoyed this video and tell me what you thought about Cursed. Who was your favorite character? I'm guessing by the end it's probably gonna be the Weeping Monk for me, but I don't know. But I definitely hope you enjoyed, and I guess I will see you in the next one. So have a very nice day wherever you are in the world, and